Hello, this is Jay Postma. In Module 2 of the Brain and Neuroplasticity series, we'll be talking about the brainstem and the autonomic nervous system. If you recall before, when we looked at the brain, I'll just give you a bit outline here. The brain communicated to the brainstem centers, and the brainstem centers, they then communicated to the spinal cord. We have the cord going down here. And just draw the cord like this. It's all continuous cells. And the way the spinal cord sits together is that, together with the brainstem, is that all these nerves that come in through here, from the cortex, look like a big vase of flowers. And the brainstem is divided into three main areas. You have one area of activation, which is the mesencephalic areas. And these are like the gas to the system. So these will bilaterally activate the cells of the cord and regulate things like your blood pressure, your heart rate, your energy levels, that kind of thing. And these activation levels, these are connected mainly to the eyes. So your eyes, and your eye muscles and your eye pupils, these are the ones that are mainly connected through the top of the brainstem. So your eye function is a good window to see how these activating areas are working. When you look at the limiting areas of the brainstem, or the brake areas, they would be these areas down below. These are your pontomedullary areas down below. These areas do exact opposite. They come down and they will actually inhibit. So these ones tend to inhibit. And when we look at these three areas, there's a communicating area in between. And these communicating areas are here where your vestibular system lies. And the vestibular system will basically regulate this one together with this one below. So it's kind of like an interactive system between your eyes and the lower areas here. And these ones are connected mainly to the inner ear, like your semicircular canals. Whereas the lower center areas, these ones are connected to the spinal cord, and mainly going down to your spinal intrinsic muscles. So we realize that the spine is intrinsically regulated by the middle areas, which is your vestibular system. And the obviously the upper areas where the eyes are, the visual system. So by making an analysis of the visual areas, the spinal areas and the vestibular areas, and looking at the integration of this, we'll show you ways how you can identify if the left side function and the right side function, if there's any difference in the two. Because remember, with the first session we showed you that if you have a lower firing output of your left brain centers, the output that you get to these areas here, which are normally the 90% of input, you might tend to lose those, and then you'll see that the inhibitory impulses on these sides will start to disinhibit these areas, and you might see an increase in function, meaning like a dysregulation of sympathetic supply. And this regulation can result in various problems with blood pressure, heart rate, digestion, and energy levels. We'll teach you different ways to activate or inhibit the brainstem and give you simple tests that will help you validate if your intended treatment outcome has been achieved.